Friends, welcome to Holy Trinity Catholic Church, where we believe, belong, and become. On this fourth Sunday of Lent, which is traditionally known as Laetare Sunday, which means in Latin to rejoice, because we're kind of halfway through, or a little bit more than halfway through the season of Lent. And as we anticipate the joy of the Lord's resurrection with the unfoldment of the Paschal mystery, this Sunday, the church invites us to rejoice because the salvation of God offered to us in Jesus Christ is about to unfold through the passion, death, and resurrection of Jesus Christ. But on this Laetare Sunday, one question is quite categorically given to us. Do you believe in the Son of Man? Do you believe in the Son of Man? This is the question that Jesus had asked with the man born blind when he was brought to Jesus to be healed. Jesus, on this fourth Sunday of Lent, on this Laetare Sunday, meets us on the road of life. Perhaps when we lost sight of the journey we are on. And this is a spiritual battle that we all might face at some point in our life. We seem to be on the path, but we lose sight. So Jesus meets us right there. Every Sunday of Lent, as we have discussed before, Jesus meets us at the particular point. First Sunday of Lent in the desert, second Sunday on the mountain with the transfiguration, third Sunday with the Samaritan woman at the well, fourth Sunday on the road with Jesus healing the man born blind, and next Sunday will be at the tomb as he raises Lazarus to life. But let us focus on this Sunday, Jesus meeting the man born blind on the road, giving him the sight. The man born blind was interrogated by three kinds of people. First, people who knew him, the Pharisees, and the parents. People who knew him said, "Oh, this guy was blind from life. We know him. He used to sit there and beg along the roadside." Pharisees, in order to put a trap on the path of Jesus, they brought him and said whether he would be healed. But Jesus not only restores the sight of the man, but makes him a new creation. Lent is about this purpose, this fundamental dignity of gaining back the dignity with which God created us. Due to whatever circumstances in life, we may have lost sight on the path. Jesus not only gives us sight, but makes us altogether a new creation. And there is this progression of recognition of the man born blind. Jesus heals him, but the man recognizes Jesus first as the prophet. Then, upon further interrogation, he recognized Jesus as Jesus. And then he exclaims Jesus as the God. So there is a progression, a radical transition from physical blindness to receiving sight, from spiritual blindness to gaining insight. At the end of the gospel, we see the man who was born blind sees, and those who could see well without any defect become blind to the teaching of Jesus. This is the reversal that could happen if we are not careful on the path of our spiritual journey. As the first reading beautifully mentions, awake, O sleeper, and arise from the dead, and Christ will give you light. This is a prelude to what we will sing at the Easter Exultet. Arise, O sleeper. With whatever loss of sight, we lost the path, we lost the track on a spiritual journey. The reading invite us to arise and giving us already a foresight and intuition and interlude into what God will accomplish for us at the Easter Vigil. Arise, O sleeper, gain sight, arise from the dead. If we are blinded by prejudice and selfishness like the Pharisees, this is the time to shed those filters away. In the first reading, we see how God sees into the heart and not the appearance as he picks David, gains not only sight but also vision. Do not judge from the appearance. This blind man was judged by everyone who knew him, by the Pharisees, by the scribes, and including by the parents. But God sees differently. God sees a purpose and a fulfillment in every man's life, in every person's life. In the second reading, we see how the baptismal underpinnings are once again outlined and serve as a prelude to the Easter Vigil, where the darkness is ultimately conquered by the light of Christ, and we all participate in the very light of Christ as we light the new light. We all require the inner vision to recognize who we are and guard ourselves against spiritual blindness. Spiritual blindness. The man who was born blind gained the sight. The people who could see very clearly were blinded because of selfishness and self righteousness. The gospel invites us to see our own spiritual blind spots. Being spiritually impaired, Lent gives us this opportunity to remove those filters, those blinders that prevent our vision. In the process of truly recognizing Jesus and the gaining of spiritual insight, we will be questioned, we will be interrogated. And that's the beauty of this process of inner healing. Jesus interrogated. People who knew him said, Pharisees brought him and being questioned, including parents. In the process of gaining sight and healing, we will be questioned of our motivations, of our desires, of our purposes and thirst. And we may be interrogated by people who know us, the people who know more than us, and the parents who know us at depth. People who know us, people who know more than us, and people who know us at depth. And in this progression of spiritual life, blindness leads to sight and gaining of the vision. Jesus was called a prophet, then as Jesus, then as the Lord, as the Kyrios. This Lent, on this Letare Sunday, true joy can be attained when we let the filters fall apart, all the blinders go away, and gain the sight and the vision of Christ. Arise, O sleeper, awake from the dead. Christ, our light, is our path. Christ will give us the light. Remove the filters, remove the blinders, gain the sight, gain the vision. Father Praveen Lakisetti here at Holy Trinity Catholic Church in San Antonio, Texas. Thank you and God bless.